Is that a breakup?
I think we have a situation right here.
On the Feeling Station.
Welcome to The Feeling Station, a podcast that touches on breakup stories that people would like to talk about with the view to give lessons that they learned from their experiences. We hope you find today's story entertaining, but more importantly, meaningful, given the lessons behind everything we are going to talk about today. Now, I have... I don't even know what to say. She's saying it for herself, right? I have the world's happiest woman ever. I mean, I can just about make one sentence without hearing a chuckle and smile. Is this what you're like 24/7?
I think most days,
Yeah?
not like every day, but
Are there like days that you're ever down and you're like, I really don't feel like laughing or chuckling?
yeah, I think on the commute to work. I don't want to go to that
You
place.
can't really use that as an excuse now because with this lockdown thing,
Yeah.
I mean, how much time are you spending working from home?
Quite a lot, you know.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm working more.
You see, so the commute thing doesn't come in, does it? Because you're not really traveling that much.
Yeah, but I'm going from my bedroom to the
That's
study room. And then I've got to log in for work.
What a joke. That's hilarious. Welcome to The Feeling Station.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I have to start by saying thank you for offering to share your story. It doesn't happen very often, but I'm grateful all the same that you've said that you're happy to do this. Now, I need to let you know that here we speak very candidly and very openly about stuff, right?
Okay.
So if you feel that a question is too hard for you, and you know how the saying goes, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Yes.
It doesn't apply here, all right?
You got to stay in and burn.
You gotta stay in, burn, and take it. So, are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's
You
I'm
are?
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So, as you know, the podcast touches on breakup stories.
Cool.
And one of the reasons it's doing very well is that, I do my best to keep you anonymous. And I have picked out a name for you, one that I'm going to use for the duration of this episode.
Okay.
And it's a name from Botswana.
Okay.
Now, the way that it's spelt versus the way that it's pronounced are totally different.
Really?
Right? So the name is Waitse.
Waite.
Yeah, Waitse. So TSE at the end. Waitse.
Waite.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the spelling of that is O-A.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
O-A-I-T-S-E. Right? But Waitse.
Waite.
Yeah, Waitse. Okay, so think as if you want to
Waitse.
say Waitrose, is that Y and then tse at the end.
Waite.
Now, I don't know how you're going to remember that.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
You won't? If you want to shorten it, go ahead and do so.
But to what though?
I don't know.
Like why?
Why? Yeah. Right? So there's that, and that name means he knows.
He knows. He being God, right?
I guess so. Yes. I guess so. But since we're talking about breakups here, is there something that you felt, he knows?
No.
No?
No, I don't think he knew anything.
Fine. So that's unrelatable. That is a first, ladies and gentlemen. For now, all the names have meant something.
Yeah.
And you've come in and you've just broken that record. I don't know how I feel about that.
I could be wrong, to be honest.
Okay, so it means he knows.
Yeah.
And what name are you going to give the guy that you're going to talk about?
this is going to sound so bad, but let's call him Ed.
Ed. Okay, like just ED.
Yeah, ED.
I'm not sure Zimbabweans are going to like that, you know. And I'll tell you why, because the president is called, well, he's not called Ed, but then his initials are ED.
Oh, okay.
You know, so people always, refer to him as Ed.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah, no. No offense to the president, but I just want Ed.
Okay, so the person is Ed. The episode is about Ed and Waitse. Now, another reason why the podcast is doing fairly good is that there are real life lessons that people learn from people's stories.
Okay.
So have you got any lessons that you want to bring to the table before we move on?
I think I've got 3.
Okay.
I think my first one is don't rush the process or let anyone rush you in the process.
Okay. Now, into processing what?
In like the relationship process.
Oh,
like,
really?
Get to
Okay.
know somebody.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
don't let someone rush you or like feel like, okay, like let's go to the next stage like quickly.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Second one is if it doesn't feel right from the beginning, let it go.
Ooh. If the relationship doesn't feel right from the beginning? Okay. Right. And then the third one?
Don't fall for society's pressures regarding age. Yeah.
I think I can relate to that already because one of the societal pressures that comes across to a lot of Africans, black people, is the whole get married thing.
Literally.
You know, look, you've just turned 21, you should have a husband by now. Right?
Literally, come out uni.
You know, in some it's so bad, you know, that by the time that they turn 18, which is not 18, 16, which is the age of consent, they say you should be consenting to having sex with somebody who's going to be your husband.
Really?
It's that bad.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And some countries are thinking of bringing that down to the age of 13.
But you know, apparently in Nigeria, I'm Nigerian by the way, the age of consent is 12 or something.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, which is actually really disturbing.
You know, at that point, you know, both boys and girls have got little stubby nipples.
Yeah.
Because guys get that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that is the beginning of puberty.
Yeah.
And just saying that it's okay for someone to say yes to sex.
Yeah, literally.
Here's what I find totally strange now. So the age of consent for sex is about 12, 13, like you say in Nigeria, but the age for you to vote is 18.
It doesn't make sense.
So
they can make a baby before they can vote.
How is that even possible?
Girl. No, not girl.
Girl, did you just call me girl? What's happening here?
So sorry.
I mean, I know I spoke about little tiny nipples and stuff. I don't have man boobs, you know.
I'm so sorry. I always say like girl or like mate.
Okay. So I'm just going to run these again. So we've got 3 lessons.
Okay.
The first one is don't rush and don't let yourself get rushed into the whole relationship process, right? Move at your own pace, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then secondly, if it doesn't feel right from the start, let it go.
Okay.
And then the last one is don't be given pressure by society and don't give in to that pressure from society.
Yeah.
Let's get straight into this. So Ed and White, where'd you guys meet and start? Yeah.
Okay. So a really close friend of mine was getting married in Nigeria. So I was her chief bridesmaid, and Ed happened to be her husband's best man. So you kind of gathered where the story's going.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've heard this to happen before. You know, I didn't think it was true.
Do you know what? I didn't think it was true either, but it happened.
Okay.
She obviously came to London, I think a couple of months before, and she was like, oh, there's this guy, if like he asks us about you, he says that, you know, he finds you attractive, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what Nigerian man again is this?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so like, we end up going to Nigeria and everything. And for her wedding, I was the first bridesmaid to like get there. So obviously, me being like so important, I felt like I'm gonna go there first, gonna support my girl. So I get there. We actually meet. I think he was like, I think he works at the airport. Or something. I can't remember what he was doing exactly.
Yeah.
But he was one to like not pick me up, but my friend and her husband was there, and he was there as well.
Okay.
So that's the first time I met him, and everyone was like, "Oh, hi, blah blah blah." He was quite like pleasant to meet and everything.
So what did you think first time you saw him? Did you think he was an attractive looking guy, or none of that even came to your mind?
None of that came to my mind because purely he wasn't like my type on paper.
What's your type on paper?
Not him.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I've got no comeback to that. Literally.
That was so cheeky.
Okay. Right, okay.
Yeah, like he actually wasn't my type of paper. Like there wasn't like no like immediate spark or no like, oh, nothing.
Yeah.
But from like the group chats and everything, I always thought, oh, he's quite nice. He seemed quite pleasant. But I thought everyone was quite nice and pleasant. But obviously, so we met and everything was fine. The wedding went on and everything. But during like the whole, like, I think I was there for 2.5 weeks or so, we just kept like having like interactions with one another. We kept speaking and everything. And then my friend was a bit like, oh, like pushy, like, oh, just why didn't you go with what's his name again?
Ed. It's the easiest to remember. It's just 2 letters.
I was going to say his real name, and I was like, no, that's not his name. Yeah. Why didn't you and Ed like go and do this for us, or like just that kind of thing of like making us spend some time together. And during the period of time, anyways, so we just like vibed. We like got on quite well, like a lot. And I was thinking, oh, okay, you're not too bad a person. And obviously, my friend even told me that, oh, yeah, he said that you're pretty, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? It's nice to have someone to, like, you know, that fancies you, to, like, pamper you a little bit whilst you're away. And then it was just like, we just kept talking. I think there was parts of, like, when I was away, we would just like go speak, and I just speak for like hours, but by ourselves or whatever. And it was nice. It was like, oh, okay, you're actually quite all right guy.
So were both of you based in London, or he was based in Nigeria and you were based here?
I was based in London. He was based in Nigeria.
So this was going to be a long distance thing.
Yeah, never again. I do not recommend.
At that point, what did you think about long distance? Were you okay with it?
Well, my previous relationship before that, I was in a long distance relationship as well.
How long are we looking here? Same country, different city, or different?
Different city. He lived not Portsmouth.
No, okay.
He lived like down south.
Well, it was in the UK.
It was in the UK, but it was like a 4-hour train journey. It was a 4-hour. Yeah. So I was a bit accustomed to not
seeing him very often.
Not seeing him like every day, but seeing him like once a week or so. So I was quite used to that as well. So long distance didn't really like scare me per se, but and there was no time difference as well. So it didn't feel like, okay, it'll be like so far. If I could do 4 hours in the UK, what's extra 2 hours?
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So yeah. And I forgot where I am.
Okay, no, I can plunge you back in. That was my fault. So you were just talking, I just asked the question, and you were saying that, you started talking to him quite regularly.
Yeah.
You know, you're on the phone and stuff, and that's where you got to.
So yeah, so we were talking and everything. So it was it just felt natural. Like very natural. It felt like me and him could be mates or like friends and everything. Oh, obviously I knew that he fancied me, but hi.
Did you start fancying him back?
I think I was open to getting to know him. I wasn't sure if I fancied him per se, but I was like, yeah. If someone asked, like, what do you think about Ed? I'd be like, he's fine, he's nice. Like, out of all the groomsmen, he's like a nice person, and I could see like how respected he was, how helpful and how like giving he was to like his mates and like trying to like arrange things for the weddings and such, which I quite like. I quite like people that are not stingy with their time or effort. So he had like good attributes, like really positive attributes. So yeah, so the wedding came and went. Then I think I came back to London and we just kept talking. It was like WhatsApp calls, WhatsApp video calls, texts. It was like constant, like very constant. And then I remember, I think it was once, I feel like we spoke like so much that I got to a point that if I didn't hear from him within a couple of hours waking up, I'll be like, where is this man? Like, what's going on here? Yeah?
You're starting to think about the brother.
Yeah, like literally. And then I think it was like sometime in Jan, I get a random phone call from a random phone number, and I was like, hi, and then it's Ed, and I'm just like, why are you calling the UK number? And he's like, yeah, I'm in London. And I'm like, okay.
Nice.
I'm like, okay. When did you get here? Like, I got here this morning. And I was like, no wonder I haven't heard from you.
Of course. Yeah, because I was on the plane, wasn't
I was on the plane. And obviously, I think I must have messaged him or something and it didn't go through. So that's a bit like, what's going on there? But obviously, me being like super chilled and everything here, I'm not going to bombard you with phone calls or messages.
So were you excited that he was in London?
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, that's good. And then obviously, I think he came on like a Friday, and then I called in sick at work.
Hey!
So clearly I was excited.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, what am I doing today? And I was like, I'm working. He's like, forget work, like, let's do something.
Yeah, let's hang out, yeah. So by this time, were you guys boyfriend and girlfriend?
No,
or you're just vibing still?
We're just like vibing.
Oh, okay.
Like the wedding happened in December.
Yeah.
So he popped up in January.
Right.
So it was very, I don't want to call it romantic yet. Because it wasn't like super romantic yet, but it was like, it's just sweet.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that he wanted to like surprise me. And I love like, I don't say I love gifts, but I love it when people do little like kind gestures. Yeah, and he only came for like the weekend as well, so which was maybe like made the film a bit more special.
Had he come for something work related, or this was to see you specifically?
I think it was a bit of both.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I was in London, when I was back in Nigeria with him, he did say that he usually comes in Jan for like to do like winter shopping or blah 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 whatever, yeah. And I was just like, okay, cool. And I was like, so you coming in Jan then? And he was like, no, I haven't booked my ticket or anything, but I don't think I'm gonna come. But then a couple of weeks later, he did land. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was quite sweet. And then we spent the day together. I think we was in West End the whole day or whatever, doing like random rubbish. But that was sweet. I think then I was like, okay, like,
This is starting to feel like something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And obviously, yeah, and it just felt like normal. And obviously, you tell your friends like, "Oh, guess who's in London?" And they were like, "Oh my gosh!" Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like friends can be bad influencers sometimes, you know. And I've got one friend that really like, she gets me excited by any guy. She's like, "Oh, man."
So did she spur you on?
Yeah, she's like, "Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. Like, it came all the way from Nigeria for you." Like, I'm like,
so they were planting that seed now. Yeah,
literally.
Okay.
And like, so he was here for a couple of days. Everything went smooth and everything. It was like sweet and everything. And then I felt like after that, things like intensified like to another level as well, where it was like constant like phone calls, constant video calls, constant like everything, like constant.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't wake up and not speak to him. Wouldn't be at work and not speak to him. Got to a point that I would probably like go work in like a private room so that I can like work.
No way.
Like, yeah, he really like came into my world.
You see, but this is what I find quite strange. Remember you said that this is a guy who was not your type on any level.
Yeah.
And you're already starting to feel all sorts of things.
He had like the height that I like.
Oh, wow.
He was a tall guy.
Just height, full stop.
Yeah. And he was nice.
Okay.
But yeah.
But you're starting to feel all this crazy stuff about him.
Crazy mention. But then also, I think personally, I also felt like it was time for me to like settle down.
Bruh. Okay.
So I feel like a combination, of all of the like intense like
emotions you're feeling at the time.
Yeah, and then feeling like, okay, do you know what? Yeah, like I'm 27. I was 27. I'm like, I'm 27 now. Maybe it's time that I like, settle down. My friends were getting married. He was getting engaged, having babies. I was like, you know what? Whatever. Like, he's a nice guy. Let's think like looks ain't everything.
Yeah.
And I don't believe looks are everything, but
So was he a good-looking guy or not?
He had a funny nose.
Wow, of all things to pick out, you had to go straight for the nose.
He had a funny nose. And it just gonna sound so vague, but I was like, Lord Father, like I pray my children don't have that nose. It was a serious prayer point.
Really?
It was a really serious prayer. I was like, praying. I was like, yeah, Lord.
I mean, like, you're not tripping, you're not joking. You actually should pray that your kids don't have a nose.
Yeah, because I saw his dad that had the same nose. His siblings had the same nose. I was just like, Father Lord.
So this thing is hereditary.
This thing is strong.
It's strong. It's in the genes.
This nose.
Right. Nah,
is strong.
I'm not having this.
Yeah, I prayed about it. I was like, Father Lord, like I can't have this nose on my child.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you're starting to feel all this stuff about this guy.
So then I feel like then we still weren't boyfriend and girlfriends, but then we were like very like affectionate, very like together. I can't say together, but yeah, I will say we were very together as much as we could be being long distance. Then
did he ask you out?
No, when I think about it.
Isn't it funny that guys don't do that anymore?
Yeah, I don't like that. Like my next boyfriend must ask me out.
I mean, you could have said to him, "Yo, so are they gonna ask me out or what?"
No, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
and what did he say?
He said, "Yeah."
Oh, that was it.
And I was like, yeah, cool.
Wow. Okay. Nah, guys do it so differently now, man.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, it's just a missing thing that I hope comes back at some point, because
I hope so as well.
With the way social media makes people connect and stuff, I'm not sure it's ever gonna come back.
I hope it does though, because I do miss the whole like, "Well, you my girlfriend" kind of skill. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen not that much.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I mean, one of the things I don't miss was if you ask the girl out to, like, "Would you be my girlfriend?" Then they say, "Oh, I'll think about it."
Yeah, and then you think about it.
And then you have to sit and wait and like find out, how long is it gonna be? A day goes past, 2 days, 3 days, and you can't really ask to say, "Yo, have you thought about my thing?" Because you're giving pressure and you want the response to be genuine and stuff.
Yeah, but you have to think about it.
Yeah, no, we miss all of that stuff. It's gone.
Honestly,
okay, yeah. So you guys are now pretty much boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, unofficially.
Uh-huh.
And then things were going smooth. This is like, then I think in that April times, he had like a bereavement in his family. And I think this is when I knew that I proper fallen for him, because I felt the pain like so much. Like even to the point like seeing him cry, seeing him be like vulnerable. And I felt because he was so vulnerable with me and so like open with like the pain that he was feeling, I felt like, wow, like wow, I'm like in this with you kind of thing. So I think from then our feelings like intensified, sorry. And I think in May, then I decided, I'm gonna go to Nigeria as well. Spend a week with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, because I think his birthday I think he was turning 30.
So you're like, this will be a good birthday present, to spend time.
Yeah.
And that's a very thoughtful thing. Eh?
Yeah.
I hope he did it as a surprise.
No, because how would I get picked up and like
I don't
stuff?
know. Didn't they have Uber and stuff at the time?
Yeah, but it's Nigeria.
Yeah, a car's a car though. You just tell them I want to get to this place and you get there.
I think at the airport you can't get Ubers. There's some places. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me.
Yeah. In fact, I saw the same thing when I went to Ghana.
Yeah. Local taxi.
It had to be a local taxi from the airport, and then once you're outside of the airport perimeter, you know, okay, that makes sense.
Yes. So, but he knew.
Yeah.
But I felt like I can't say things started going dodgy. Yeah. But I felt like I started feeling a little
type of way.
I don't know why.
When you told him you're coming, or when you got there?
No, not to do with him, but I feel like with my friend that had gotten married, I wasn't as open with her about me and him. But then I think I didn't want opinions as well. It was weird. I don't know. It's like a little.
It's weird because remember your friends were egging you on.
Yeah.
So they're the kind of people you want to be accountable to, right?
Yeah.
But you weren't doing that.
I wasn't doing that.
That's very weird.
And I don't, like, up until today, I don't really know why.
Something in your gut was telling you something ain't right.
Yeah, literally. And yeah.
And that's your lesson number 2. If something doesn't feel right, then it isn't. So are you sure you don't know what it was?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like naturally, if things are not right, until I figure out what is not right, I won't be able to pick it out. So now I know what wasn't right. But in that time, he was still entertaining his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, was he? Yeah. How did you find out?
Boy, how did I find out?
Yeah. How did
Instagram.
Oh my God. Here we go. I'm only saying that because I think is it 2 or 3 episodes but before this one, there was somebody who was really hot on the social media tracking of the person that she was interested in. And she picked up an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that guy was entertaining the ex-girlfriend. And in fact, he put her as a picture on Valentine's Day.
That rattled me.
You know? and then
what?
Yeah. And then she was only put there on International Women's Day. I better be careful because that really made me laugh.
Oh my days.
I'm not about to break out into another laughing fit. So, okay, so, I mean, I'm going to distract you here very temporarily for 1 sec. Is it really a thing for people to go on social media and check out what their partner is up to?
I think
Why is it a thing? Is it important? Should it be done? Should it not be done?
I feel like if you feel the need to do something like that, you're going to find something.
So why did you feel the need to do it?
Because I had inkling and I wanted to find something.
Stemming from what though? What triggered you? You can't just have an inkling about something without a trigger.
I feel like he didn't pick up my phone one time. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't picking up your phone?
Yeah, so this is after I spent the week in Nigeria and I'd come back. We skipped a few months and now we're like June, July and like he's constant.
Oh man, I gotta be careful because I don't want to miss the trip to Nigeria. I definitely want to tap into that. So let's pin that because that's what we're going to come back to. So maybe this is something I need to touch on after you tell me about your trip.
Okay, cool.
Because you tried calling him a week after and he wasn't picking up.
Yeah.
And that's when you discover that he was entertaining his ex.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the trip to Nigeria.
I feel like I missed something as well, actually. Yeah, but it will come back to me.
Okay, so let's go back there. So you planned this trip to Nigeria for his birthday. You get there for his birthday.
Yeah.
And what, was he excited and stuff?
He was excited. He wasn't a bit excited.
Yay! Get in. Where did you guys stay? Did you
okay, because I am very funny with like being in people's houses. So I booked myself a hotel.
Okay, did he come and spend time with you at the hotel?
Yeah, the time be there.
The whole time?
Yeah, and I think I'm very cheeky. Like, if me knowing him, I knew he wouldn't let me book a hotel. He wouldn't stay with him. So I took it a step away from him and I just booked it and I was like, yeah, I booked my hotel.
Oh, okay,
just
nice.
because I didn't want to like stay somewhere and not be happy if I'm staying there.
Yeah.
So just to be happy, I was like, yeah, I'm booking myself a hotel. Even like my friend, I was like, I'm not staying with you either. And I was like, because of my hotel.
Do you generally like being in control of stuff?
Yeah. I feel like if I don't trust you wholeheartedly, I can't let you do things to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd ask the question because of the way in which you've expressed how you wanted to be certain that you've booked a place and it's something you were happy with.
Yeah.
Do you think he picked up that you liked being in control?
Yes, and I feel like as a Nigerian man based in Nigeria, that doesn't really run as much.
So he had a problem with that?
I wouldn't say a vocal problem with that, but I feel like he probably took note of it. And I wouldn't say he was upset, but he wasn't happy. Right. Well, what does that even mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
He wasn't physically like, he didn't like tell me off or being like, oh, why'd you do that?
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, oh, babe, you should have like let me know. I could have helped you arrange something like that. Mm-hmm. So obviously I took that control away from him.
Yeah.
And hey, like who knows, but.
Did that have an impact on your relationship?
I don't think so. But the thing is, I feel like I've always been very like, okay, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. So if you don't like it,
tough.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it, basically.
So you get what did you guys do for his birthday then?
Do you know, I can't remember. Because I think I went like 2 weeks after his birthday.
Oh, okay.
I think because of work or something.
Yeah.
But he had like a family party. So like there was like I think his niece was getting like baptized or something. So there's a big party. And then that's when I met his mum and on the whole family spiel or whatever.
How did that feel?
That was all right. But I feel like whilst I was out there, he kept making comments about the way I was dressing.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So
what sort of comments were these?
He was like, oh, like maybe you should change, or like, oh. Okay. So one day we was going out somewhere, and then I wore a dress, so just a little slit. I was a bit low cut, and then he was like, oh no, we went out, and then I think the way people were looking, like they were based in Abuja. Abuja is a bit more like. Not as liberal as like Lagos.
Okay,
like,
it's a bit more conservative.
Yeah, more conservative, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think it's more Muslim as well.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, so we went out somewhere, and I felt like the attention people were giving to me, he didn't like it, and obviously it wasn't like good attention. Do you know the way like some African countries can be, where they see someone dressed not the way like the regular. African,
locals play,
locals dress, the eyes would be looking, everything would looking, and he didn't like that. So then he was like, oh, maybe.
Did you notice it?
I didn't feel comfortable either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't like it as well.
Okay.
And I felt like, what's wrong with these people? Because I could wear this dress in London and not feel away.
Yeah.
And that was also like a little like, oh, can I really do this? Because like, for me and him to progress, I would have had to move to Nigeria because of his like career goals.
Right.
There was never a notion that he wanted to come to live in London. It was always going to be like, we get married and you come to Nigeria.
So you started thinking about all of these things. Like, would I be able to dress the way that I want to dress without getting looks or without him telling me to change? Yeah,
literally. And obviously he was going to go into like politics and stuff. Ooh. So I would have to be so conservative, so like prim and proper, so like not myself.
That wasn't going to work, was it?
Yeah, I never thought that was going to work. Even the fact of me like having to move away from my friends and family in London, it was like, I don't really know about that.
But that's what relationships are all about, compromise.
Yeah.
Because he could say the same for himself. I don't think I can leave my family, my friends, my career to come to you.
Yeah, I hear that, but
So which one of you two was more flexible? Which one was more compromising as an individual?
I'm not too sure, you know. Because I want to say me, but I think I want to say me because I was the one considering the move. But then I feel like naturally I'm a stubborn person, so I feel like that could be a lie.
Do you think you picked up that you were a stubborn person?
Yeah, I'm quite vocal in my stubbornness.
And I'm asking this because remember we said that your name, Waita, means he knows.
Yeah.
So with all of these things that he knows that she likes being in control, she's potentially stubborn. Do you think he knew that maybe this wasn't going to last long?
Possibly. Possibly. And also I felt like he felt like he was punching a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I felt like.
Okay, why? Did he try and do stuff extra or?
I don't know. You kind of get a vibe, that how can I explain it? Like I felt like he didn't think I was like as serious as I was presenting myself to be, and it was a bit of a weird one because it was like after everything happened and looking back retrospectively, it was a bit like, why did certain things happen? Even the fact that he was still talking to his ex-girlfriend, which didn't make sense to me, was a bit like, why would you do that when like you already like been very vocal, like from the get-go? It would have been like, oh, we're getting married, you know? Like, this is it.
Like from the onset.
From the onset.
And I guess that worked very well for you because you were thinking about settling as well. So you're like, oh, you know, God is saying all the right things to us.
And then, and he was like, September 2019, we're getting married. Like, that is it. Like, it got to a point where I was a bit like, this is a bit much, babe. But it's like, nah. But then obviously with his like political career, I kind of gathered that he needed to be married as well.
I see now this is starting to make sense from lesson number 1. Don't be pressured in the process.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it was a bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I still want to come back to, I feel like I digress a little bit. and I want to bring it back to, you're in Nigeria, you're having fun. Tell me the highlights. What did you really enjoy about your guys' time in Nigeria?
I think just being together, you know. Like we went around, we went to a few clubs and bars. One thing I didn't like here was that we went with one of his mates, and his mate had like his like side chick with him.
Oh,
and Lord have mercy.
Oh no!
And I was like, what the hell is this? And the thing is, it was so, and the way I found out was so like innocent. So I think the next day I went back to my friend's house, and I was like, oh yeah, we went out with so and so, and his girlfriend was there, and then she was like, girlfriend? His wife is pregnant. And I was like, the girl I saw was not pregnant.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just a bit like, why do you feel comfortable taking me somewhere with like
you see that's that sort of guy code in quotes, you know, as in if I was to bring a side piece and my friends are there, they would understand because I know they would probably do the same and I would understand. Yeah. So I guess that thought ran across your mind, right?
Like why why are you so comfortable with me being around someone that's bringing like some girlfriend, and his wife was pregnant, like heavily pregnant.
Did you say something to him about that?
Yeah. So obviously me and my friend and him and his friend went out. And I was like, oh yeah. So I brought the conversation again. I was like, oh yeah, we went out so-and-so with so-and-so and his with his girlfriend. And my friend was like, girlfriend, we basically repeated the story.
What was his reaction to that?
He kind of just didn't react. It was like, you guys think we're silly.
Really?
So he kind of clutched that we had discussed this beforehand and just like reenacted
We're just bringing it,
in front of them to get a reaction.
Jeez.
And he kind of just like pushed it to one side.
No, guy code.
Don't be silly, like forget this way we're talking about it.
Guy
and
code.
I was like, But I feel like with a lot of African countries, cheating and having multiple girlfriends and wives is like the norm.
It's normal.
Yeah. And I didn't think it was seeping into people in their like early 30s, late 20s. So that was a bit of more of a shock for me. I thought like, yeah, my parents' age, that generation, they do that rubbish. But seeing people in like the early 30s within like a year or two of marriage
doing that sort of thing was a bit of it was a bit of was mind-boggling for you.
So I think that was one of the little like back then. But apart from that, I think it was fine on the trip. The trip was like it was a nice trip. Obviously he was still working and stuff, but I enjoyed my alone time, so I didn't want to be like smothered completely. Yeah. So it was a nice trip. I met like his family as well, and that was quite nice too. But obviously he wasn't from my tribe, so here's another thing as well.
Is that a problem?
It wasn't a problem for me, but I felt like in their tribe and with what he wanted to do politically, it would have been a bit like, oh, you've got a Yoruba wife. It wouldn't have been like, if he married from where he was from, it would have been like, you've got a so-and-so wife. It would have been like, oh, your wife. And I also felt like a bit like, oh, like I would always be like the Yoruba like wife. I always feel a bit different. Okay. Even though he wouldn't make me feel different, but I got the sense that they were a bit tribalistic.
Okay.
Apart from that, I think it was fine. It was a good 5-6 days out there. Things were going smoothly, everything.
Then you head back to the UK and then you try to reach him this one time and he's not available. And then you're like, yo, I'm going to go trolling. So what were you trolling for?
No, do you know what?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, Nigeria and light. So let's say for the past 6 months, we have been talking constantly. There's no issue with electricity or whatever. But one particular evening, you're telling me that there's no electricity and your phone died, blah blah blah. And I was like, that doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up, but it's not abnormal though.
It's not abnormal for some people, but it's abnormal for him.
Okay.
So if I felt like it was a believable story, I don't think I would have
Yeah. So you were like, nah, something about this don't feel right.
This not adding up.
So why did you think social media was the right place to try and get an answer?
I don't even know.
Out of all things, I
don't even know.
Yeah.
I just felt to go look, and I went to go look, and I found, and I feel like it wasn't even just that incident. I feel like, yeah.
What did you find?
So basically, so I don't know how. I can't remember how I find the ex-girlfriend's Instagram page.
Are you sure you don't know how you found the ex's?
Okay. Oh, do you know what happened?
What?
I feel like my friend was like, has he spoken about this ex-girlfriend to you? And I was like, yeah, he's mentioned her briefly, but nothing out of the ordinary. And she was like, And I was like, what are you trying to say? She's like, speak to me about it and like get a clean answer from him. And I was just like, what are you trying to say?
Exactly. I mean, you, my friend, talk to me.
Yeah,
tell me what you're trying to say.
I'm just ask him ask him to go over the story again with you and get some definite make sure everything is done and dusted. Yeah. So I think I went to go do that and everything. And I don't know why, but I think I probably went on Instagram and then I saw that he was still following her. And I was like, if you guys ended on bad terms...
Why are you still following this person?
Yeah, why are you still following the person?
Yeah.
And then he was like, our families are mutual friends, in their town, blah, blah, blah. I can't just do unfollow and do all this blah, blah, blah stuff, yeah. And then I'm just a bit but you said you ended on bad terms. Why?
Exactly.
Why are you
But why are you trying to keep the peace?
Yeah,
it's over, it's done.
And I think that's no problem I had with him, that I felt he was always trying to pacify or trying to be the nice guy consistently. I'm sometimes you've got to be a bad person, not a bad person, but you've got to protect yourself before you try to be overly nice to somebody else. And then he just wasn't getting it. And then I think one time, after the phone call incident, I think that was our proper first argument. I was like, you're lying to me. And he's like, how are you going to say I'm lying to you? Where's your proof I'm lying to you? And I hate being gaslit. I hate it. It's so infuriating. And when you can't do much because all you've got is a bloody phone.
And all of this is happening long distance.
Yeah. So I'm back in London. He's back in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know, one blessed evening. So I think I got into a pattern of just going on the girl's Instagram. Yeah,
but the thing is, for you to say that is lying to you when you had no evidence was a bit much, though.
Yeah, but I just felt it.
If we all go by what we feel, this world would be a really bad place.
Yes, but...
You had no evidence.
I had no evidence, but if someone's pattern has changed, that signals something has changed.
So, I'll give this to you from a guy's perspective,
okay.
Right? You are having a go at me for something that you have zero evidence on.
Mm-hmm.
If I know it's true, I'm going to think, whoa, okay, I'm about to get into trouble here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and cook up a story to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could say, this girl is a bit nagging, so I'm going to start detaching myself.
Okay.
Before she either catches me out and I need to try and explain a story or whatever.
Okay.
So instead of continuing to do the whole thing on Instagram, why didn't you just ask your friend to come out straight? Because remember, your friend had asked you to ask him, and you asked him and you got your answer.
Yeah, but
which wasn't enough. So why didn't you go back to your friend?
I felt
instead of Instagram.
I felt like she couldn't say much more than what she had told me.
So how much of a friend is this friend?
We're really close friends.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bit funky, though.
I felt like the situation did make me feel a way, but I kind of got over it.
You guys still good friends now?
Yeah, still good friends. I'm her child's godmother.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When I forgive and when I let things go, I let things go. I don't really hold grudges.
I guess there was a reason why she was protecting that. Because sometimes it's better for you to actually find out on your own. Because some people are not very receptive to being told the truth.
Yeah, I hear you.
I got a friend of mine, I knew his missus was doing a number on him. And I told him. Like, hey, listen, your missus is doing a number on you. And he's like, oh, how do you know? And I just knew.
Yeah.
Right? The stuff that I knew. I said, look, if I were you, I would leave this. Don't go. I'm not going to go into the detail. Just leave. And guess what? He cut me off.
Oh, wow.
He absolutely cut me off.
Oh, wow.
To this day, we don't speak. And even though he found out, he didn't come back and say, it's like, oh, do you know how, bro, you told me, but I didn't listen.
Oh, wow.
Ego and pride got in the way.
Yeah.
So I think I get the angle that maybe your friend was coming from.
Yeah.
She probably wanted you to see it for yourself and know that you'd be receptive to what is potentially
And also,
happening.
I feel like she couldn't say everything if she knew everything, because like it would have been obvious where it was all coming from.
I see.
So obviously her husband and him are really close friends. And then she's probably getting some like gist.
You see now, you didn't give me the lowdown, fam. You didn't give me the lowdown, innit?
I thought it was like, you like just like
Okay, no.
So my friend is the girl that got married, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
So I felt like she was trying to like be like, okay, like I can't tell you everything, but go in this direction.
Do you know what? That's the best that she could do.
Yeah.
So she actually did the best she could as a friend.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. So please excuse the previous questions I asked. You know, that's a very noble thing for her to do.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So you call him out. You say you're lying, and then you go digging.
Yeah.
Now there's a saying in my culture that basically says, if you go looking for trash in a bin, you'll find it.
Yeah.
And you were going straight to the trash.
Yeah. But the thing is, on that occasion, I didn't find anything.
Okay. So that should be enough for you to stop.
No, but my intuition, my chest was like, no.
Yeah.
So then it got to a point that I feel like if I called him, I didn't get through to him, I'll go on an Instagram page. It was crazy, yeah. Then, you know, God loves a trier.
God loves a trier.
Like, if you want something in life, you got to keep at it.
Wow. Okay.
Then one beautiful afternoon, I don't even know what made me go on. I think I got into the habit of doing it. So I went on the page. Also, using my fake account. Can I ask you something? Get a fake account.
Let me just ask you a question before you continue with that. How did you feel every moment you... Wait, did you create this fake account just to snoop on her, or you had it anyway?
I can't remember.
Okay, fine. We'll assume you had it already. All right, for some reason. How did you feel knowing that you were looking up someone and you're looking for shit? Didn't it make your heart race that you might find something that will break your heart? And
yeah, but I felt like the peace I wasn't feeling wouldn't go away until the peace. Okay, I'm saying the wrong way around.
The peace that you anticipated wasn't going to come until you found the thing that's troubling you.
Yeah.
But whatever you find is going to mess you up.
Yeah.
So it's not going to give you no peace.
Yes, but at least I know like exactly what I know. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I do you know what? I don't like to be taken for dickheads. I think that's it, point blank.
Yeah.
And if I feel like something's not adding up, I must know what's not adding up. Yeah. And I must present it back to you.
Okay. Fine.
That's it, yeah.
I get that. Okay, so you go back in, and then God loves a trier. What did you find?
So then she's like at this bar and everything, yeah. This is going to sound so crazy, yeah. But everyone should know, yeah. You know your man when you know your man. Mm-hmm. So she's snapping a table, yeah, with like, I think a cocktail or whatever. And then in like Abuja it's really hot. So my guy always carry a handkerchief. And like he's got many handkerchiefs, of course, yeah. So then in the corner of the finger, I see a handkerchief. Hold on.
Okay.
And then so his brother had previously given him like this like gold watch, like a couple of weeks ago. So then, like by the handkerchief, I see a hand with a gold watch, and I recognise the freaking gold watch.
Oh,
and obviously the handkerchief was there as well. I was like,
Oh my gosh.
So then I took a screenshot of it. I think I called him or something and he didn't pick up or whatever. So I waited. So I just waited.
Sorry, can I ask a question? This girl's account, was it private or public?
It was public.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then what did I do?
You took a screenshot?
Okay, no, actually, I think I was watching her page, with my normal account. But then I think she had plenty of followers, because of plenty. She had like thousands of followers, so
she didn't clock.
She didn't clock me. So then I now made a fake account to DM her, and in the DM I was like, but the girl's a photographer, so I was like, I really love your work. what do you call it? I really love your work. So I'm saying, oh, which camera do you use? Cool. Then the guy replies me.
Wow. Okay.
Then I was like, oh my days, this cocktail looks so delicious. Where is it?
Oh,
so the guy replies me and says, oh yeah, I went to a bar. It's called so-and-so, so-and-so. So I was like, thank you.
Oh my.
Keep on going, blah, blah, blah.
This is crazy. I don't even know how to describe that. That is some next level tact.
Yeah, so she now tells me the bar that she was at. So then I think that evening, I was like, oh, so I think I asked him, it's like, so what did you do today? And he just told me some spiel about, oh, he did this, did that, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, okay. And then he was like, oh. And I was like, so you went out so-and-so with so-and-so? And he was like, what do you mean?
I'm like, I just asked a question. You went with so-and-so and so-and-so
today. Do you see her? And it's like, oh, yeah, like at the bar, like I was out watching football with some friends here and she just happened to be there. So I went to go say hello. And I was like, really? You said hello? And he was like, yeah, but nothing like big like that. Like once he knew that I knew exactly where he was, I think up until this day, I didn't believe he knows how I got know how I got to know what.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, so like she was there and I just said hello, blah, blah. I was like, are you sure that's what happened? Because from what I've heard,
that's not
what happened.
Jeez, that is such a move, you know. That is a proper boss move. Because at this point, he's thinking, how the hell does she know?
And these times, my friend is no longer in the country with him.
So
my friend's back in London with me.
So he can't make that connection.
Yeah. So he up until today, he will never know how I found out.
And for him, what's worse is he doesn't know just how much you know.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know how much of a lie you can get away with.
Yeah.
You were in a proper power position here.
Yeah.
And how did you make use of that power? What did you do after that?
I can't remember.
So what was his response?
He was like something about, oh, you don't trust me, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay.
Like, can't I just say hello? Can't I talk? Can't I blah, blah, blah? It's not about that. You're just freaking lying. Like, don't lie. Like, I asked you how your day was, what you did today. You didn't mention it. Only when I mentioned this and that, you're not being like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, do not lie. And I don't like lying. Don't take it for a dickhead. Don't do that.
This is the second time you've pretty much called him a liar.
Yeah.
You know, so I think for him, he's really starting to feel like, okay, I'm a bit exposed. Yeah. That was the perfect opportunity for him to apologize.
You know what? Yeah, he loves sending me like long ass messages with apologies and saying, oh, I love you, I miss you, blah, blah, blah.
Your eyes are telling a story. You got over that real quick, eh?
Mate. No. I was like, no. So we argued. It was like, it was intense. And it's the fact that you could only argue via phone call, was even more intense. You couldn't pull up and be like, yeah, we'll sort this out today. So, So I don't know how that got resolved. It didn't really get resolved. I think that to me was the end. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, you keep doing what you're doing. Seems like you're not serious. Just chatting rubbish to me. Let's leave it as it is, yeah. Then I feel like, I think I sent him like a message and be like, yeah, let's just like call it quits or whatever. And he was like adamant. He was like, no, how can you say that? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. Like, why is it like this social media thing, that's making you feel like I'm doing this, doing that? I'm like, no. I didn't tell him that I found him on social media, but I feel like he always knew that I had a problem with him still following her. And up until today, I still believe he still follows her.
Yeah, you know, that's a funny thing. If you know that somebody that you care about doesn't like something, why not just make them comfortable? But
then also, I feel like there's always a little complex with some men where it's like, you're told me to do something, so I'm not going to do it.
Oh, okay.
So then I think that was it for me. And then I feel like it took us a few weeks, but then we kind of like, we started speaking again. So my friend, his friend's wife, she knew about this whole fiasco. Like, I think after the fact. So then I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Then I can't remember how we started speaking. It was like very slow and gradual. We started speaking again. And and then I can't remember. But then obviously during the time, I still wasn't like certain or anything about it. But then he was still trying to like win me back and being like, oh no, it's fine, blah, 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 all this rubbish and this bullshit. Then I think September times, he now just pops back up into London. It's like, so I'll say for the past like 4 weeks or so, we had been like going back and forth, arguing, not speaking, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then he now pops back into London. Then he's like, oh, I'm staying in a hotel like Marble Arch, come. I feel like hold on, I'm skipping something. I'm skipping something because I feel like how did we get back to me seeing him?
Maybe you just missed him. You know, and he said he's in London. Yeah, maybe this is perfect time. You remember, you said you couldn't pull up and really have a go at him. So, you know, so maybe this is your opportunity to do so.
Yeah, but something else happened when I saw him.
Really? Okay.
That wasn't me. I had my walls down or something for me to see him. I don't know. I can't remember how we started talking again for me to even want to see him when he was back in London. But he was back in London as well. And it was on a day I think I got to work that day and I got let go.
You got let go from work?
Yeah, so work was going through reshuffles. They weren't making any money.
Damn.
So I got put on redundancy, but I saw it coming.
Yeah.
So I was like, when they said, can you let's go for a talk, and I was like, okay, let's go. They're like, yeah, unfortunately, business not doing well, so we've got to let some people go. And this was the second wave in the business. So I was seeing, I was like, yo, how much are you paying me? Let me know.
Yeah. You know, just let me know how much I'm getting and let me go.
So obviously, so we must have been on good terms or goodish terms, for me to have told him, and he's be like, oh yeah, I'm staying at blah blah blah, come and meet me there. So I went to go see him there and everything, and then I think I was on a track to try to work things out or whatever. So then I can't remember what I was doing. I was just in a hotel room with him, and then he went to go take a shower.
I have an idea where this is going. You didn't touch his phone, did you?
I did touch his phone. Of course I did. And the thing is, okay.
Did it have a password?
It didn't have a password.
It didn't?
It did.
How did you know the password?
I think from the time we spent in Nigeria.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but it was a really simple password, 000 or something like something simple like that. I don't know how I remembered. So then, anyways, I went to go and doing my own personal snooping. So I went on WhatsApp, and then I'm just reading messages. I'm just like, hold on, these messages are too recent. Number one, and they're too playy, and too
who's messages between
with
him
the same
and
ex-girlfriend.
How did you know what she was saved as on his phone? You just tried her name?
Yeah, I tried her name.
And then boom, it came up.
Yeah, literally.
Jesus.
Literally.
Okay.
So then, what do you call it? So then, I feel like he came out the bathroom, and I was on his phone. I looked at his phone. I continued reading as he came out the bathroom and everything. And he's like, what are you doing?
You didn't even bother trying hiding it. Yeah.
I was like, nothing. And he's like, what are you doing? So then I just left the phone, took my bag and left the room. And I left him there. And I went.
You didn't even say nothing to him?
No, I said nothing. I mean, he asked me what are you doing?
I mean, remember all this fire you had when you guys were doing long distance. You were shouting and screaming and you were mad that you couldn't pull up at his house. You're in the same damn room and he's naked. You could have done a lot of stuff to hurt him.
I just literally put on my coat, picked up my bag, and I left.
You were over it, weren't you?
Yeah, I was done.
You checked out.
I was done.
A while back emotionally, hadn't you?
Yeah, I was done. I was actually done.
And was that it?
I feel like he called. I just didn't pick up the phone. Then he sent a message like, oh, once you calm down, blah, blah. I think there's nothing to talk about. And then I don't even know what happened. I probably told him to leave me alone. Let's not do this. I'm over it. And I think that was pretty much it, to be honest. So that was it. So I checked out.
Jeez, dude. You know, the same way that you guys got in is the same way that you guys left. In the sense that he never really asked you out. And so you never really gave him the closure to say, I'm out.
But where was it? When we was in Nigeria, we had the conversation. And I was like, so what are we actually doing here?
Yeah.
And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like me and you, I'm not going to be coming here for nothing. And he's like, yeah, we're together, we're it, then this is it. And I was like, okay, cool.
That was a funny way of confirming that, isn't it?
Yeah. And even the fact that I had to confirm it, should have been a bit go,
so I guess for you, you really didn't even feel the need to give him that closure because, you had received your confirmation and that's what you needed.
Literally.
So you didn't continue snooping after that, did you?
No, it was not my business.
Exactly.
I think I blocked him on my Instagram. Yeah. I probably blocked him on WhatsApp. I just blocked him everywhere.
Has he tried to get a hold of you by other means?
No, the funny thing
like looking you up on eBay and shit.
God forbid, that's a stalker. Run. Like, no, I think December came, and then my friend and husband got married on my birthday. I think the year before. Was it year before? 2 years before? A year before. So then he now posted a picture of like us four, and then he was like, happy 1 year anniversary to the blah blah blahs, and happy birthday to my baby. What's my name again?
White say.
Yeah, happy birthday to my baby White say. Some bullshit. And I was just like, we ain't spoken in a couple of months. Why the hell are you posting on Instagram happy birthday message?
He was trying to reel you in, wasn't he?
And listen, obviously I blocked him, so I don't follow you. So then my friend was like, Ed posted a picture of you as happy birthday to you on Instagram. And I was like, what kind of idiot? What kind of loser is this? Like, so I didn't react to anything, yeah. And I feel like he probably called me on my birthday or texted me, and I said, oh yeah, thank you, and I left it as that.
Do you know, you're very expressive about this. What do you really think about this guy today? Do you dislike him?
I don't care for him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't care.
if you're to bump into him randomly when we left the studio now, what's the first thing you'd say to him?
Hi.
Really? I mean, you'd be proper cordial.
Yeah, I think I'd be cordial.
You wouldn't try and avoid him and be like, you're just okay.
The thing is, I don't avoid people.
Yeah.
I like doing things head on.
Yeah.
You can avoid me, but I'll be like, oh hi, how are you? How's it all going? Hope you're well. How's family?
I guess for you, that's really confirmation that you have managed to move on and get to a different space, haven't you?
Yeah.
So I got a very clear understanding of the don't rush and don't let yourself get rushed into a relationship thing. And I got a very clear understanding of if something doesn't feel right, don't go ahead and do it. Now, you've got something in there about not giving in to pressure from society.
Yeah.
So what pressure were you getting?
I felt like I was meant to get married. Okay. At that point of my life. I was meant to be like in a relationship, building towards a marriage, blah, blah, blah.
So some of this was coming from your own internal pressure.
Yeah, and from my mum as well.
Oh, really? I think that's the element you left in this whole equation. So your mum was having a conversation about you getting married.
My mum stays having a conversation about me getting married.
Are you married now?
No.
So does she still talk about that saying, oh my God.
Right, she's leaving me alone.
So what are you waiting for in terms of getting married? Who's the guy in the picture now?
I'm still single. Well, I can't say still single, but I'm single at the moment.
So if you came across a guy who's got the same traits, say they've got an ex that they have on their...
Yeah, no.
Really?
Nah. I feel like, okay.
Even if him and the exes aren't even talking like that.
What, so ex is still a friend?
Yeah, or maybe he's just forgotten to take her off social media because it just happened and he just hasn't executed it. Not that he would have a problem removing her if he became aware of it.
Okay, that's totally different. Okay. But I feel like if you've still got a lingering ex, I'm not about that. No.
So are you the kind of girl who asks us about exes as soon as you get in? You're like, I need to know who your ex is, what's your situation with your exes, or you go with the flow until an ex presents themselves as a problem?
I tend to ask about, so how were your past relationships? How were your past situationships? How did those end? I don't ask specifically.
Is that important?
Your last girlfriend.
Is that important for you to know?
I feel like the way people talk about relationships gives you a better insight into them. So the way you're going to talk about your last girlfriend, the way you're going to talk about what happened in your last relationship, how you express like the feelings you had for her, or like what went wrong, blah blah blah, will give me insights to like you as a person, or if you've got any growth. But if I say like, oh yeah, like your ex that you still speak to, everyone's going to say no. Like that's such an easy question to ask and answer. Like you're not going to get an answer.
Of course, nobody's ever going to say yes. I still speak to my exes because. And
let's be real, everyone has a lingering something somewhere.
But that just makes me think if we're saying that nobody will ever openly tell you that they're still speaking to an ex, why would they openly talk about how their relationships ended in a way that could potentially make you and him not work? The point I'm trying to make is people will always be dishonest about their past engagements. So why is it important to ask the question? Why not just find out as you go? Because they will lie to you anyway. right? If I cheated in all my previous relationships, I'm not going to tell you that and say, oh yeah, my ex, was my ex because I cheated. I'm probably going to tell you, look, it just didn't work. It's just one of those things. It just didn't work, and you've got no better insight into it.
That is true.
So why asking the question?
I don't know. Just ask. I just ask it. Yeah. There were some people that I'll interact with that I wouldn't think to ask about their ex-girlfriends. But if I feel the need to ask about it, I'm going to ask.
So it's always based on a need?
Yeah. Okay. If I want to ask, I'm going to ask. It's not like, I met a guy yesterday. Yeah. Here are my first 10 questions.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that.
That would be much. But nah, this has been fantastic. Honestly, I've totally enjoyed this a hell of a lot. And for those who are listening to this episode, the lessons once again. First one is don't rush. Don't let the relationship process be rushed. Let it be organic and natural. Second, if it doesn't feel right from the start, just let go because it probably isn't. And the last but not least, don't be given pressure by society because there's just way too much to deal with when that pressure comes on.
Yep.
You've been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host Tinto, and I look forward to catching you in the next episode. Peace.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Satis and Daro Raini and Chagizai.
Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over.
Satis and Daro Raini and Chagizai.
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Urudoi motor no to kujiziro amai.
Kujiziro amai. Love is a fire.
Urudoi motor no to kujiziro amai.